What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is October the 16th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we did have the Philly manufacturing index coming in at negative 12.8. Forecast was 4. Not all that great. That caused a little bit of a dip in the broader market. Didn't really last all that long. So I think we are very much in a buy the dip type of environment. Even most recently, I think Bank of America's research kind of said the exact same thing. So it's a very unique circumstance, but Dow is up 0.29, S&P up 0.52, NASDAQ up 0.68%. So today's shaping up to be a pretty good day. Aside from that, though, you do see the fear and greed index under the fear category. So in theory, people's appetite for risk isn't on the table, but a lot of the stocks I'm going to be talking on kind of say otherwise. Starting off with SOFI, it is up 0.96%. SOFI put out this news right here, so I'll dive deep into this on my dedicated SOFI video. So stay tuned for that, but this did come out. And so aside from this, though, SOFI is just largely piggybacking off the broader market. Shorts aren't doing anything this morning, but 9.5% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 112 million shares overall being shorted. Last 2 days, shorts, interestingly enough, did increase. I'm not really sure why. Probably trying to slow SOFI down, but with it at 28.30, 28.88 is going to be that key pivot. So again, maybe shorts might increase again today just to try to slow it below and stop it from getting to that 28.81, although it hasn't really worked out too well for them in the past. So just for today, just watch for that one. Moving on, NIO is getting hit quite hard, down almost about 7%, and that is because of this. So Singapore's GIC alleges inflated revenue. So a lawsuit being launched against NIO. So very kind of bold statements. So it's one of those types of things that this is all obviously going to cause a little bit of a pullback, but real question is, do you buy it or not? Because like I said, we're in a buy the dip type of scenario. NIO is an interesting beast. I think the sentiment among investors has been largely negative for the last 2 years. So it's going to be, I don't know if people will actually buy the dip or not. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. As far as shorts, 12.27% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 169.8 million shares overall being shorted. So when it comes down to it, shorts have really doubled down since September the 22nd, bringing it from about 9% short interest to where it is now. So shorts have really added a certain level of suppression because even the stock price has been just starting to slump. Aside from that, though, with it at 636, key point for today is going to be that 617, which in my opinion, I don't logically see that being hit today, but if it does, I feel like that's where people might scurry in to start buying the dip, possibly. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Moving on, ticker is SOAR. It is up 8.23% because of this right here. So it looks like them and M2I, Global Advanced Development of Strategic Mineral Reserve Digital Infrastructure. Kind of sounds interesting for that, but that's kind of the main reason why it's moving higher. 13.09% of the free float is being shorted, which does work out to be 714,000 shares overall being shorted. Right now with that 335, it is above all the key fib levels, so today just watch for that 312, and in theory 389 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So add this one to your watch list, and it could be a pretty good day trade, but as what we can see over the last 1 year, things haven't really worked out too well. So it always has these spikes, but then it doesn't always hold up. So again, I think this is where you could see some good volume getting in, but it might be short-lived. So that's just my opinion, of course. Moving on from here, though, ticker AUUD. So it is up 17.56%, and they are up because of this. So they announced a new corporate overview on company website. So a lot of this news that's been coming out lately has been very interesting, and in my opinion, hasn't really justified a push higher, which completely contradicts this that I mentioned. So people's appetite for risk being on the table, like that we should be under the extreme greed. We should not be under the fear at all, because this, in my opinion, isn't anything crazy for it to really bring up a stock about 20% right now. So again, something to keep in mind, but market cap is about 4.4 million, so that kind of does, I guess, make somewhat sense. But with it at 245, it is trading right above this R1, so 242 will be that key pivot, 258 and then 285 being the next strong target / resistance points, and then moving for support 215 and then 188. So in my opinion, this one will be one that people gravitate towards for day trades. I believe this is actually the most heavily traded stock so far in the pre-market. So this is going to be a lot of volatility. So in theory, even though I don't really think that the news is crazy good, it could really bring it up to this R3 or potentially even higher. So this one might be one to add to your watch list. And then last but not least, ticker is ELBM. So it did go down 51% yesterday. So crazy stuff. This morning it is up 10%. So more of a little bit of a rally. One thing that did come out though was this came out after hours yesterday, just saying that they announced the voting results of their special meeting of shareholders. So this is also another stock that I did bring up previously that I found very weird, because as it was running up near the tip of it, like didn't really have any news whatsoever. If anything, they kind of announced or put out a definitive 14A, which they were talking about raising the authorized share count, if I remember correctly. So the fact that they just put out this news right here, kind of going over the results, is rather interesting. So I don't know, this is another stock that might be good to day trade, not to actually own, but I don't really know much about it aside from kind of what I brought up. Market cap, side note, is 41.05 million. As far as shorts, 38.42% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 6.8 million shares. So this is at all-time highs. Shorts have been very reactive to the stock price. So potentially if things really heat up, you could see a nice run and possibly shorts start to really return a significant amount. But ultimately with it at 262, it is trading between this R3 and this R2, so 290 and then 402 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points, and then 247, 220, and then $1.78 being support levels. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.